Hello kids, welcome to the class. Today's topic is work and force. So first of all, let us understand what is force. Force. Force is a push or a pull on an object. When an object is moving and you apply force in the opposite direction, the object stops or changes the direction. Let us study the effects of force. It can make a stationary object move. It can make moving object speed up. It can change the direction of moving object. It can slow down a moving object. The force can stop a moving object, or force can change the shape of an object. To apply force and to do work, we require energy. And energy is the ability to do work. Work is said to be done when force moves something, and hence force, energy, and work are interconnected. So, here in the example, you can see a boy is pushing a trolley. So, boy needs a energy to push the trolley, and the trolley moves from one place to another. Hence, we can say the force, energy, and work are interconnected. The amount of work depends upon the size of the force on the object, the distance the object moves. So here you can see if there is a small force, the ball moves to a small distance. If there is a big force, the ball goes to a longer distance. Now let us study the types of forces: mechanical force, gravitational force, frictional force, electrostatic force, muscular force, and magnetic force. First of all, let us study mechanical force. So, machine needs energy to exert force. Mechanical force can help create, cut, compress, bend, and stretch a material. A pair of scissors uses mechanical force to cut a paper. A bulldozer pushes the mud with mechanical force. Next type of force is gravitational force. So, gravity is the force that pulls the object downwards towards the center of the earth. It is a force exerted by the earth. So, due to gravity, when you throw a ball, it falls back to the ground, or when you try to jump, you come back. The sun exerts a similar gravitational force that keeps the planet in their orbit and help them to revolve around the sun. If the earth did not exert the gravitational force, we would not have been able to walk, but we would be floating in the air, and the life would be very difficult. The next force is frictional force. So, friction is the action of one object moving against the another. The force exerted in this process can stop a moving object. A moving bicycle can be stopped when we press the brakes. This causes friction between brakes and the wheels. The stronger frictional force can be exerted on the rough surface than the smooth surface. A ball rolls easily on a smooth surface and goes to a longer distance, but cannot roll easily on a rough surface due to strong frictional force. Hence, we can say the rough surface exerts a stronger force and smooth surface exerts a lesser frictional force. The next force we are going to talk about is magnetic force. It is a force exerted by a magnet. When two magnets come together, their opposite ends attract each other and the similar ends repel each other. This property is called magnetism, and the force exerted by magnet is called a magnetic force. So here you can see the north and the south poles, they repel each other, and opposite poles like north and south attract each other. Magnets are very really useful. The magnets are used in several objects. Magnets are fitted in the compass that helps to find the directions. ATM cards have the magnetic chips which stores informations. The next force is muscular force. The muscular force comes from the muscles of a man or an animal. Every physical activities comes with a use of a muscles, hence they are muscular force. For example, running a race is also a muscular force is used here. When an ox pulls a cart, it uses a muscular force. A force exerted by the muscles to move an object or to do any work is called a muscular force. The potter spins the wheel and gives the shape to the clay into the pots using the muscular force. Next force we are going to talk about is electrostatic force. The electrostatic force is exerted when two objects are rubbed against each other so they get electric charged, and hence when one of the object is taken near another, it will either stick or repel. So here you from the picture you can see opposite charges attract and like charges repel each other. When we use a comb to brush the hair gets rubbed with the comb, and so there is an electrical charge discharge taking place. After rubbing many times, the hair gets sticks to the comb. This type of force is called a electrostatic force. Now let's study the simple machines. These machines are very useful to us. The machine help the people to do work easily. With machines, the force used can be reduced. The simple machines are of different types: lever, pulley, wedge, wheel and axle, inclined plane, screw are the examples of simple machines which we use daily, and they make our work very easier. First of all, let's talk about a lever. Lever is a bar that turns on a fixed point. It has two parts, a bar and a fulcrum. The bar rests on the fulcrum. The load to be lifted is placed on the other end of the bar. The force applied on the end of the bar, this force exerted to move the load is called effort. So here you can see in the middle the rod rests on a fulcrum. The red box is the load that is to be lifted, and the force that is applied on the opposite side is the effort. A lever is used to lift heavy objects, to cut things, to open lids, and so on. Examples of lever are hammer, scissor, bottle opener. Next simple machine we are going to talk about is pulley. Pulley is a simple machine with a wheel, rope, or a cord. Pulley is used to lift heavy object. We draw water from a well using a pulley. The rope helps in lifting the weight, and wheel rotates to bring the load up. Simple machine is made up of wheel with a rod and joint at a center. It- this is called a wheel and axle. So wheel in the car is attached to axle. The windmill and the ceiling fans use wheel and axles. So wheel and axle is also very important. So there This simple machine is used in many of the things, for example, car, windmill, sailing fins, etc. An inclined plane is a flat surface that is placed at an angular against a horizontal surface. It makes the moving and lifting things easier. A ramp is an example of inclined plane. So these ramps are found inside the hospitals, near the banks, shopping malls, etc., which makes the lifting of the things very easier. The next simple machine we are going to talk about is screw. When a screw is a simple machine when an inclined plane is wrapped around the cylinder. You gain a mechanical advantage and when the rotated. The bottle cap works like a screw. The screws are turned with a screwdriver and holds the object together. The next simple machine we are going to talk about is wedge. Wedge is a simple machine made up of two inclined planes put together. These two planes meet and form a sharp edge. That's called a wedge. Wedge is helpful in cutting and chopping. The examples of wedge are axe, knife, and razor. So student, thanks a lot for watching the video.